Hey, y'all, welcome to the Building a Brand podcast series where we talk about a wide variety of different topics and how it relates to the business journey, current business news, as well as, just plain old business in general. I'm your host, Jeremy Patton, and without further ado, we'll dive right in. Hey, y'all, I would like to welcome you back to the Building a Brand podcast series. I am your host, Jeremy Patton, and today's podcast, we're going to discuss the topic of talking to the person in the mirror. And if you're asking yourself, who's that? I'm referring to you, yourself. Look in the mirror, and throughout your entrepreneurial journey, go back to the mirror and talk to yourself. And this will be a tool that you could use to continue along your journey to help you figure out your path, to help you keep going, and to keep you motivated in times of difficulty. There's going to be a lot of hardship along your journey and along your path, especially as a startup, especially as a new entrepreneur. You are not going to know the basics of business, let alone the more advanced concepts of business. And when you're learning all this stuff, you're going to be overwhelmed. Like, it happens to pretty much everybody. But you have to maintain your composure, understand and accept and acknowledge that it is a learning process. And you could look in the mirror to help remind yourself and to speak gentle about yourself that you will get there. It'll take time, it'll take focus, it'll take dedication, it'll take consistency, whether that is in studying, whether that is actually working, whether that is reaching out for help and working with others and to improve your process, improve your knowledge about your business, about your products, about your industry, and about you as a business owner as a whole. And in addition to that, there's hardship in regards to the people around you and the support you get, the lack thereof, people that try to bring you down. All these factors play into being an entrepreneur. You'll have times where if you do reach out and ask for help, you'll have times where people may not reach back out and help. And that's all a part of the process, right? There are numerous reasons why support may not come. That could be one, people might not believe in your product or service. Two, people might not believe in you as an entrepreneur. Three, people might not have the knowledge or the capability of actually helping out. And also, people may not have the capacity to help out. Like, the world is chaotic for everybody. And people are dealing with their own issues, their own life problems and struggles. And you can't necessarily expect people to drop their own issues and focus on you and help you out. That's something to keep in mind. And quite frankly, the last reason, people don't have to help you out. Nobody owes you any type of assistance or service. So definitely don't go out seeking help, expecting help to come. Because the mass majority of the time, it's not going to come. And again, you will have a constant wave of negative feedback from people around you in general because you are going along this journey of yours. People might not see your vision, people might not be able to see you as an entrepreneur or taking you serious as an entrepreneur. And so you're going to have people and chatter from people that you know, people that you think that you could depend on, and even people that you don't know will talk about you along your journey. And looking at the person and talking to the person in the mirror allows you to bring back that motivation and allows you to stay focused on your dreams and on your goals. Again, this is your journey and you're responsible for it. So use the mirror as a talking point to remind yourself that no matter what you face, no matter what assistance comes or whatever you have to do, you will get through the hardship of the entrepreneurial journey. Then some more of the hardship that you face is pressure that we put on ourselves and pressure that society puts on us. Right? With technology, everything is so instant, and with social media being so involved and intricate with businesses these days, it is like almost difficult for you to get online and for you to get on social media and not think about what they're doing or what this person's doing, what this company's doing, or what that company's doing. It's almost hard for you to not compare yourself to others. But you definitely have to go with the mindset of not comparing yourself to others. You have to go in with the mindset of the path that you're on is your journey and your path, and as long as you are doing the necessary things to research how to improve your quality or research how to get better and you're making progress, then you will get there as long as you don't stop. And so again, the mirror, you have to go back into that mirror and you have to remind yourself that as long as you keep going, you will get there. As long as you keep improving as you're going, you will get there. And your journey and your process is your journey and your process. So that's why you have to speak to the person in the mirror, and you have to remind yourself and you have to keep yourself motivated during those times of hardship, when all the world is seeming like it's lining up against you. Another good thing that you could do when you look into the mirror that I recommend is that you look at your past journey, right? You look at everything that you have gone through already in life, and I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. At least most things happen for a reason, right? You have random events and stuff that you can't really control that happens, but a lot of the things that happen in life we go through to gear us up and to strengthen us for what we will have to face in the future, or to prepare us for the future. And so look at your journey and your path through life and look how it aligns with your entrepreneurial journey. That business idea and concept that came to mind, something of your past, put that in your head. Something of your past prepared you for the moment of you stepping out and you starting your business on your own. And so you have to look at and remind yourself of some of the things that you have gone through and reassure yourself that you are already headed this way. And you're headed this way for a reason. So the person that you see in the mirror is a direct result from your past. And while you're in the mirror and you're reflecting on your past, remind yourself of all the hardship that you've gone through. Think about everything that you have gone through, the difficulties in life, the learning lessons that you went through, and remind yourself that you're here, you're starting this business for a reason. And as you're going through and you are building your company and times seem like it's hard, or you might get to a point where you just can't get unstuck and you're in a place where you don't see a way forward, look at everything that you've gone through that it took to build up your company to whatever level or whatever status it currently is, and ask yourself, did you go through all that just to quit here and now? And ask yourself, have you done everything that you possibly can to get over that hardship and to keep going? Because if you haven't tried everything and you still have time, if you're still breathing, you can still go after your dreams. And don't fall into the idea of you're too old, or you're not qualified, or this or that. You went through what you went through, and that's a part of your story. That's a part of your journey. And remind yourself of everything that you have gone through, everything that you have overcame, and tell yourself that you can get over whatever hardship that you're currently facing. Right? And remind yourself of why you started. You started along this entrepreneurial journey for a reason. Whether that is, for financial benefits, for, taking a little bit of weight off your shoulders, whether that was to tap into your creativity, whether that was to follow your purpose, to help out others, whatever your reasoning for going into business, think about that and use that as a motivating factor to get over some of your hardships. Because if you're not going through it now, they will come. And at each phase of your journey, there will be different hardships that come. And you have to get into the mindset of facing your hardships head on and running directly at them. Because as you go, again, things will always occur. Things will pop up that's out of your control. That'll create some kind of hardship on you as an entrepreneur. When you start off, you'll face them more frequently. As you progress, they'll start to distance out. And throughout your journey, the level of hardship that you face will vary. But if you go in with the mindset and you keep the mindset of, yeah, I might face some hardship, but no matter what the hardship is, I'm going to still pursue my journey, my dream. I'm going to make this business work. And when you see a hardship, you face it dead on and go directly at it. And attack it and you find a way to get over it, you will begin to pick up momentum. And so when the next hardship comes along, you already know what to do. And that is to face it directly on and go directly at it. And use your time in the mirror to reflect on everything that you have gone through and the different hardships that you have gotten over, and remind yourself that whatever hardship it is, you'll figure it out. As long as you attack it, as long as you approach it with the mindset of getting over it and overcoming, then it won't be in your way. Now, another thing that you want to think about while you're in the mirror is your future. Again, you got into this business world for a reason. Think about what you had in mind when you first started off. Where did you see yourself going? Think about that person. Then consider everything that you have learned so far, everything that you have created so far, and think about where you see that person now in this moment. Because as long as you were growing as an individual, as an entrepreneur, and your business, then you should be able to see yourself more clearly of what you'll be in the future, of the person that you will become. And you might already have some of those traits that you see and you envision. You might already have some of those successes and accomplishments that you envisioned previously. But at this point, look in the mirror and look to see who you will be and where you see yourself in the future if you continue along your journey. And this particular podcast episode is focusing on the hardships that you face and looking into the mirror, so to get yourself through those moments. So when you look into the mirror and you're facing a hardship and you're along your journey, think about who you will be if you get over this hardship and you keep going. It's a lot of problems or a lot of issues, a lot of the causes for people to not succeed when it comes to starting a business and running and operating a business is because they gave up too soon. So think about who you will be if you don't give up. Think about who you will be and how good it will feel to face whatever hardship your company is facing, face whatever hardship you as an entrepreneur or as a person in general is facing, and think of what it will feel like for you to overcome that hardship. And while you're thinking about yourself and yourself in the future, more specifically, analyze who you are, analyze where you are, analyze your habits currently, and ask yourself, are you in alignment with the person that you see in the future? As your current present self, are you doing the things that will make your future self better? Or are you doing things that will keep you from reaching who you want to be in the future? Are you spending enough time working on your business? Are you spending enough time learning about different business concepts? Are you spending enough time focusing on yourself and doing self-improvement exercises and inserting self-improvement habits into your life? Because if not, then you're technically holding yourself back. So you can spend this time in the mirror to also keep yourself accountable. Because if you're not doing the things that you need to do, or that you know you need to do, and even if you don't know that you need to do them, are you spending the time, are you doing the work to find out what it is that you need to do? Are you asking, other people, whether that's people you trust, that could be people that are in a space where they could be a mentor or where they could be a coach for you along your entrepreneurial journey? Or are you asking your customers or your ideal customers how you could improve as a business? And again, ask yourself, what are you doing to succeed? And what can you do more of to make sure and to solidify that you will succeed? Spend this time in the mirror as motivation. Any motivation starts from within. You could do other things as far as looking at, the outside people, whether that's friends, family members, for support and assistance. But your motivation has to start within. Because if you're not able to motivate yourself, then when times get really hard, and nobody else will be able to. You controlling your mind, you controlling how you feel about your entrepreneurial journey, and you keeping yourself motivated to go, will separate you from your competition and everybody else. So look in the mirror and encourage yourself to keep going. Look in the mirror and look at yourself with pride and joy for the progress and the things that you have been able to accomplish so far. And again, reassure yourself that you can make it to whatever level of success that you envision, as long as you keep along your journey and you keep improving, you keep growing, and you don't stop. No matter what the hardship is. And no matter what changes you gotta make. You might have to talk to yourself in the mirror and analyze if there are personal changes that you have to make, changes around your environment that you have to make, whether that is where you are at, where you're working, your friends, family members, the people you spend time with. Like, all these things are contributing factors in your life presently and your life in the future. So you have to ask yourself, what room of improvement is there? And remind yourself what you're doing all this for. Right? If you started this for, whatever reason, is that still your motivating reason? Is that still a reason for you to keep going? Does that reason still matter? Because if so, then spend this time in the mirror talking to yourself and getting back grounded in the sense of no matter what you have to do to figure this thing out, no matter how hard times will get, no matter how much work you have to put into it, you'll figure it out. You have to figure it out. If you want to achieve whatever the reasons or whatever the driving forces were of you to jump into this entrepreneurial journey. And speak positive to yourself. Right? Definitely hold yourself accountable, but also speak positive to yourself. Because you have gone through so much, you have made it so far, you have overcame a lot, and yes, it's a part of the process, and yes, you can get through whatever you're going through. You can make it, you can figure it out. Maybe you have to make a business pivot. Maybe you have to go back to the drawing board. Maybe you do need to reach out and you need to get professional assistance. But speak positive to yourself because you have persevered so far. You're still standing here. Everything that you have gone through, whether you made mistakes or you made the right choice, you still continued along your journey and it led you to this moment. So keep motivating yourself, keep going, keep your eye on the prize, which is the future and whatever you envision in the future as far as your success for your business and for yourself. Use those things as motivating factors. Spend that time talking to yourself in the mirror to keep yourself honest and to hold yourself accountable for the things that you should be doing more or the things that you are not doing enough of or the things that you are doing too much of. And realign yourself with your vision, your journey, your purpose, and go after your business dreams. And attack as whatever hardships that come along, attack them dead on, in the face. Stare them in the eye and say, this is what I'm currently facing. How can I get over it? How can I overcome it? What do I need to focus on? What do I need to work on? And get to work. All right, y'all. That'll conclude today's episode of the Building a Brand podcast series. Thank you for joining us today. As always, please comment your thoughts on today's episode below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to get notifications on future episodes. And as always, have a wonderful, exciting, and informative day. You guys take care. And as always, deuces.